Legendary rapper Jay-Z is denying an allegation that he and Sean Diddy Combs raped a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah, an anonymous accuser identified only as Jane Doe made the accusation in a civil lawsuit on Sunday. It alleges that the assault happened after she was driven to an MTV Video Music Awards afterparty back in 2000. In a statement to NBC News, Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, called the accusation idiotic, adding, quote, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever should commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree?" Attorneys representing Combs also dismissed the lawsuit, calling it a shameless publicity stunt. Combs is currently behind bars at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center after federal prosecutors charged him in September with racketeering and sex trafficking.
NBC News legal analyst Danny Savalos is here to break down some of this for us. Danny, good to have you with us. These are serious allegations. Tell us a little more about what accusations the accuser is making here that happened back in 2000, and just typically how a case like this then would play out in a civil court proceeding.
According to the amended complaint, and when I file amended complaints, it's because new information has come up. Maybe there are new defendants and new claims, and that's sort of what's happening here, but I'll explain the difference. This amended complaint alleges that this 13-year-old plaintiff, when she was 13, wanted to go to the VMA Awards, couldn't get in. A limo driver says, "Come on in, and I'm paraphrasing, "you look like you're Diddy's type," or something like that. She gets in, she goes to the party.
The courtroom was alive with tension as Jay-Z, the renowned hip-hop mogul turned business leader, sat in a tailored suit. His usual composure appeared shaken, revealing the weight of the moment. This was more than a legal challenge. It was a battle for his legacy. Jay-Z, legally known as Sean Carter, faced allegations tied to an incident at an event in 2000. Complicating matters further, Sean Diddy Combs was also implicated in the case.
A new twist in a high-profile lawsuit accusing rapper Jay-Z of raping a 13-year-old girl in 2000 alongside Sean Diddy Combs. The lawsuit, originally filed in October, was refiled today to include Jay-Z as a defendant. The anonymous accuser claims the assault occurred at an MTV Video Music Awards after-party. Jay-Z has denied the allegations in a statement on Roc Nation's Instagram, calling the accusations heinous and urging a criminal complaint be filed instead of a civil one. He also criticized the attorney behind the lawsuit, Tony Busby, accusing him of exploiting the case for personal gain.
The proceedings had captured public attention for weeks, with every development analyzed by media outlets and fans. However, today stood apart. Jay-Z, typically unshaken in the face of controversy, appeared visibly unsettled. His legal team, led by the assertive Alex Spiro, had failed to secure a dismissal. The judge's decision not only prolonged the case, but also included a sharp critique of their approach.
At the party, she is assaulted. Originally, she had alleged, obviously, Diddy or Combs. Now, there isn't really a new defendant in Jay-Z. What the complaint alleges is that somebody that they had originally referred to as, say, Celebrity A, now they're naming as Jay-Z. And so they allege that Jay-Z and Combs were involved in the assault of this 13-year-old plaintiff. So Jay-Z was technically already in the complaint. He just wasn't identified.
Walk us through that point that was in Jay-Z's statement there about changing the type of lawsuit here, civil versus criminal.
So Jay-Z essentially is saying, hey, if you're going to bring this case, this sounds like a criminal complaint. I dare you basically to go file a criminal complaint. And what's interesting, too, is that according to the complaint, the plaintiffs explained the reason that they decided to name Jay-Z was allegedly Jay-Z had pushed back on the filing of this complaint. So it's almost like a kind of, hey, if you're going to push us, we're going to name you in this complaint instead of just saying that you're Celebrity A. That's a little bit problematic because if he wasn't a party originally, if he was just Celebrity A, and now the only difference is because Jay-Z pushed back, it raises a question as to what exactly Jay-Z did as a party, but that will all be worked out in discovery.
And talk about what does happen next then with all this.
Well, when you file a civil complaint in federal court, the next steps are very clearly laid out in procedure, but they're not that exciting. The court will get together, the parties get together, they figure out a discovery plan, and then months out, the parties start exchanging discovery, paperwork, documents, and then months beyond that, they start having depositions. But in the civil complaint context, the opening salvo is the filing of the pleading, and then after that, it's mostly quiet until we get to depositions, which are usually not in the public. and then years from now, in federal court, maybe a year and a half, then you get to trial.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.
Judge Torres didn't hold back, stating, "The repeated filing of motions containing inflammatory language and personal attacks is inappropriate and wastes judicial resources." Her pointed remarks left a mark, not only on Jay-Z's legal team but on him personally. For a figure known for calculated strategies, this setback was significant.
You should always advocate for yourself and be a voice for yourself. You should never let what somebody else did run your life.
A 38-year-old mother from Alabama who has filed a lawsuit accusing Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z of raping her when she was 13 years old is speaking out to NBC News for the first time. She asked us not to reveal her identity.
What made you want to come forward and talk today?
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough about what I've been through, and it's been hard enough to be quiet. But it's a chapter of my life that I'd like to close.
An NBC News review of her account found inconsistencies with her allegations. She says that she went to the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000 to catch a glimpse of her favorite celebrities.
You weren't scared to be all alone?
No, with having autism is like feeling like you live your life in a shatterproof drywall ball. The world's on fire. The fire is inside the ball with you, but there's no way for you to get out.
In addition to having autism, the woman says she suffered a head injury. The night of the 2000s VMAs, she says a friend drove her from Rochester, New York to Manhattan, a more than 5-hour drive. Her attorney provided NBC News with the name of the friend who has since died. The woman says she spoke to Combs' limo driver who offered her a ride to an after party.
I stumbled upon Diddy's driver who told me that I was exactly what Diddy was looking for.
What did you think when he said that to you?
I thought it meant that I was just pretty.
She went to a White House, she says, where she spoke to musicians Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo because, I have about his tattoo that's the Last Supper, because I have a religious background. So it was just something to talk about.
In a statement to NBC News, a representative of the Maddens confirmed that they did not attend the 2000 VMAs and that they were on tour in the Midwest at the time. At the after party, she says she had a drink.
As the judge granted anonymity to the plaintiff, referred to as Jane Doe, Jay-Z's frustration became apparent. Leaning toward his attorney, he whispered something, his expression a mix of disbelief and concern. This was no longer just about the allegations. It was about the far-reaching implications and the gravity of what lay ahead.
Woozy. Then she says Combs and Carter took turns raping her while a female celebrity watched.
JC comes in and rapes me. He at that point I was fighting, trying to get away from him, and he put his hand over my mouth and told me to stop it, cut the
After the alleged rape, she says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up and drove her home.
We rode home in silence. He didn't ask me what happened. He didn't ask me what I did or where I was.
In an interview with NBC News, her father said he could not verify the claims. Quote, "I felt like I would remember that, and I don't. I have a lot going on, but that's something that would definitely stick in my mind," he said. When we asked the woman about the contradictions in a phone interview on Friday, she said that she stands by her statements. "I have made some mistakes," she said. "Honestly, what is the clearest is what happened to me." The inconsistencies in her account of an incident alleged to have happened 24 years ago does not necessarily mean the allegations are false. The accuser's attorney, Tony Busby, said, "Because we have interrogated her intensely, she has even agreed to submit to a polygraph. This has been extremely distressing for her, to the point she has experienced seizures and had to seek medical treatment due to the stress." In a statement to NBC News, Sean Carter said this incident didn't happen, and yet he filed it in court and doubled down in the press. True justice is coming. We fight from victory, not for victory.
Is any part of you scared coming out against such powerful people?
Yeah, I'm scared of what happened, but I'm more afraid of letting it eat me alive from the inside out than I am of, being chastised by their fans.
All right, Chloe Malas joining us now live. Chloe, we just heard a very strongly worded statement from Jay-Z. What else are you hearing from him and his team?
Yes, so his attorney said that they're going to ask the court to, quote, dismiss this frivolous case. And also moments ago, we heard from Diddy's legal team, and I want to read you some of what they said. They said, quote, this is the beginning of the end of this shameful money grab. And remember, he remains behind bars at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, and his criminal trial begins in May.
All right, very thorough reporting there. Chloe, thank you so much for that.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.
The allegations were serious. Jane Doe claimed that, at an event in 2000, she had been given a drink that left her disoriented. She alleged she was later assaulted. Both Jay-Z and Diddy firmly denied the accusations. The court's decision to proceed suggested there was more to examine. Clip 6. Publicly, Jay-Z had addressed the allegations with a strong statement. The accusations are severe. If such a crime occurred, a criminal complaint should be filed, not a civil one. His remarks aimed to challenge the motivations behind the lawsuit. Yet, in the courtroom, his confidence appeared to waver.
New hour here on Live Now from Fox, and we do have some breaking news that we want to bring to you. It was being reported by TMZ and now Fox News. We are learning that Jay-Z is accused of raping a 13-year-old girl. That is new in the Diddy lawsuit, and the new allegations are just coming out this evening. Jay-Z is being accused of raping a minor along with Diddy at a MTV VMAs after party back in 2000, according to documents obtained by Fox News Digital tonight. The lawsuit, which was initially filed back in October, was refiled tonight in New York by an anonymous accuser claiming Jay-Z, whose full name is Sean Carter, raped her while Combs and Celebrity B watched. So that other celebrity was not named. Initially, the lawsuit stated Combs raped the minor while Celebrity A and Celebrity B watched. Carter was named as Celebrity A in the refiled lawsuit. Representatives for Jay-Z did not immediately respond to Fox News' digital request for comment. Combs and Carter allegedly, quote, took turns assaulting the minor, according to the lawsuit. Many others were present at the after party but did nothing to stop the assault, it alleges. The 13-year-old.
The lawsuit alleged misconduct by Jay-Z, Diddy, and another unnamed individual. The plaintiff's attorney, Tony Busby, clarified that his client sought justice, not monetary compensation, through private mediation. However, the high-profile nature of the case made discretion nearly impossible. Clip 8. The case grew increasingly complex. Jay-Z's legal team highlighted inconsistencies in Jane Doe's account, suggesting her attorney was seeking publicity. Judge Torres, however, dismissed these claims, stating the inconsistencies did not justify an expedited dismissal. This indicated the court's intent to focus on the core issues.
Civil lawsuit. There's so much to discuss here. Let me bring in our law enforcement analyst this hour. She is a law enforcement expert. She's also a trial consultant. Sunny Slaughter on the program. Sunny, good morning to you. We talked about this. When that suit was first filed. We were all wondering, who are these celebrities? Who is this man who's alleged to have raped this child, as Diddy is alleged to have raped this child? And who is this female celebrity who's alleged to have watched these rapes happen? What's your reaction, please, to this allegation being brought against Sean Carter and him not wanting to settle this?
Good morning, Julie. Here we go again. here we go with this case and the unfolding of it. So when it comes to Sean Carter being named, you know, we've been hearing the rumblings and the ramblings that it could be him, that he could have something to do with this, and now the name is out. I have to agree with him. If this is a criminal case, criminal charges, let's see that happen. I am always, as a law enforcement expert, a litigation consultant, and someone that specializes in trafficking and sexual exploitation cases, concerned when we go to mediation regarding something that's criminal and not to the criminal litigation and for the investigation that is necessary in this case. Although it might be 24 years old, the allegations, we investigate cases that are 24 years old as law enforcement, and I think we need to see clear eyes and take down the temperature with the hype and get into the investigative material and start with Homeland Security Investigations, who has the expertise, who did the execution of the search warrant on Sean Puffy Combs stuff, and let's get into it that way as opposed to having mediation. These are criminal allegations, and we should not take them lightly, and particularly based on the age of the individual, and there could be others allegations.
Right, Sonny, and excellent points here. And let's keep taking it a step further. So you said this is a valid point, and I agree. I agree. I said it to my colleague, our senior producer on the show, Eric Goldson, when he said Jay-Z makes this point about why isn't this criminal? And I said, yeah, he's right. And I looked up the law. So the New York Child Victims Act, sometimes we hear it referred to as the CVA, a wonderful piece of legislation that opens up the window of the statute of limitations, right? Statutes of limitations, you know, bar...
Tensions rose as the session progressed. Jay-Z, visibly affected, reportedly voiced his frustration, exclaiming, "This is outrageous." His legal team quickly intervened, but the moment underscored the strain he was under, a rare display from someone often seen as unflappable.
A high-profile lawsuit accusing rapper Jay-Z of raping a 13-year-old girl in 2000 alongside Sean "Diddy" Combs. The lawsuit...
The girl was dropped off at Radio City Music Hall by a friend as she wanted to attend the MTV Video Music Awards back in 2000, according to the lawsuit. In an attempt to gain entry to the venue, she began approaching limousine drivers waiting outside the celebrity-filled event. One of the limousine drivers she spoke to claimed to work for Diddy, the lawsuit read. He told her that Combs liked younger girls and said that, quote, she fit what Diddy was looking for, not allowing her into the awards, but inviting her to an after party. The 13-year-old, quote, recognized many celebrities upon arrival at the party and was required to sign a non-disclosure agreement. However, she was not given a copy. Combs, who would have been 30 years old at the time, then allegedly attempted to force the girl to perform oral sex on him. He stopped after she hit him in the neck, according to the lawsuit here. So now Jay-Z being accused in this now 24 years ago, raping a 13-year-old alongside Diddy at an after party here. So these are the newest allegations rocking the music world this evening, and we wanted to bring that to your attention all right here on Live Now from Fox. Of course, we will continue to follow this major story as the Diddy saga continues, and now more celebrities getting caught up in it here. These new allegations rocking Hollywood and the music industry as we speak. Right.
Observers in the courtroom exchanged glances, their reactions a mix of surprise and curiosity. The case had evolved into a public spectacle, with intense media coverage amplifying its dramatic undertones.
Against a rape accusation. His attorney filing a letter to the judge to dismiss the rape lawsuit against his client, citing an NBC News exclusive that found inconsistencies with the accuser's story.
You should always advocate for yourself.
It comes after our interview with a 38-year-old mother from Alabama who accuses Sean Diddy Combs and Sean Jay-Z Carter of raping her when she was 13 years old. She asked us not to reveal her identity.
What made you want to come forward?
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough.
She says that she went to the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000. The woman says she spoke to Combs' limo driver, who offered her a ride to an after party. She says at the party, she spoke to musician Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo. It's the Last Supper.
In a statement to NBC News, a representative for the Maddens confirmed that they did not attend the 2000 VMAs and that they were on tour in the Midwest at that time. At the after party, she says she had a drink that made her feel woozy. Then she says Combs and Carter both raped her. She says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up.
We rode home in silence. She didn't ask me what happened.
In an interview with NBC News, her father said he could not verify the claims. I feel like I would remember that, and I don't, he said. When we asked the woman about the contradictions in a phone interview on Friday, she said she stands by her statements. I have made some mistakes, she said, in remembering what happened 24 years ago. Honestly, what is the clearest is what happened to me. In a statement to NBC News, Sean Carter said, "This incident didn't happen. True justice is coming. We fight from victory, not for victory." A representative for Combs called the suit a shameless money grab.
Is any part of you scared coming out against such powerful people?
I'm scared of what could happen, but I'm more afraid of letting it eat me alive from the inside out.
Chloe Malas, NBC News.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social.
The case's significance extended beyond the individuals involved. It became part of a broader conversation about accountability in the entertainment industry, reminding many of the ongoing efforts to address power dynamics and ensure justice.
Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, is now being accused of drugging and raping a 13-year-old girl at an after-party following the 2000 Video Music Awards in New York City. The lawsuit was originally filed in October against Sean "DIDDY" Combs, now refiled to openly name Jay-Z as his alleged co-conspirator. Combs is currently behind bars pending trial on federal charges, including sex trafficking.
For Jay-Z, this presents a very difficult situation because unlike Sean Combs, Jay-Z doesn't have the opportunity to say that he's being charged criminally and that this civil case should be paused. Instead, this case could go forward and he would have to sit for depositions, argue, defend, show where his whereabouts were, and the light of day could be very damaging to him both in the court of law and the court of public opinion.
Jay-Z has been famously married to Beyonce for 16 years. They have 3 children together. Today, Jay-Z denying all allegations, saying in part, "My only heartbreak is for my family," adding, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case." His attorneys quickly taking his rebuttal to court, filing a motion to deny the accuser's request to remain anonymous or dismiss the lawsuit, calling it a cynical and calculated campaign to force payment of an exorbitant sum of money.
There are a number of reasons as to why a defendant would ask that a plaintiff be named in a civil lawsuit such as this. They may simply say that getting the name and the time and place of when something occurred would better allow them to prepare for a defense. The other, probably less benign reason is oftentimes when someone is accused of a crime like this, the accuser doesn't want to be named, and if they are forced to be named, we have seen certain people decide to drop the lawsuit altogether. So it could be a tactic to try to get the lawsuit dropped.
The wall of silence has now been broken, and victims are coming forward.
This recent revelation stems from one of at least 7 civil lawsuits against Sean Combs filed in October by attorney Tony Busby, all of which allege Combs sexually abused dozens of victims for over 2 decades.
What shocked me most was that it was going on openly in front of other people that you would know who didn't do anything to stop it.
Busby, a prominent Houston lawyer, is no stranger to going against powerful entities. He represented 12,000 plaintiffs in a lawsuit against the oil company BP following the tragic Deepwater Horizon.
Meanwhile, Diddy faced his own legal challenges. While no co-defendants were named in his case, its connection to the broader allegations added complexity, intertwining the narratives of 2 influential figures.
In 2010, BP agreed to pay $7.8 billion to compensate local residents who were impacted by the damage. In a statement, Sean Combs' legal team called the lawsuits against their client shameless publicity stunts, and that Mr. Combs never sexually assaulted or trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor.
For Combs, he's under a lot of fire, both from a civil and a criminal standpoint. He's got a criminal case in the Southern District of New York where he could be going away to prison for decades, if not a lifetime. And as each week seems to pass by, Tony Busby and other individuals seem to just be adding on civil lawsuit after civil lawsuit.
According to the complaint, the 13-year-old Jane Doe was dropped off near the Radio City Music Hall in 2000, hoping to get into that year's Video Music Awards, but instead found her way into an after-party.
According to the allegations, when she first got to the party, she was asked to sign something she believes to be an NDA, but she didn't really read the details. After that, she entered the party.
After accepting a drink, she claims she began to feel woozy and lightheaded and entered what appeared to be an empty bedroom so she could lie down. Moments later, the lawsuit alleges, Combs, Carter, and an unnamed female celebrity enter, all of whom Jane Doe says she recognized. In the lawsuit, Jane Doe then alleges Combs and Carter took turns raping her as she lay on the bed disoriented, all while celebrity B watched. She claims she was only able to escape after hitting Diddy and running out of the bedroom.
Within the amended lawsuit of Sean Combs and now Sean Carter, the plaintiff is saying that she suffered immeasurable physical and psychological damage, that she's had problems with interacting with people down the line, keeping jobs, and being healthy, both physically and mentally.
At the time, the then 30-year-old Carter was nearing the height of his career. With a Best Rap Album Grammy Award under his belt for his record Volume 2, Hard Knock Life, and high-profile collaborations, including with Combs in the 1999 song Do You Like It, Do You Want It?
Painting a better picture than the one that I drew. Do the things that I do.
In all, Jay-Z has won 24 Grammy Awards. 2021, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Trying to make me cry in front of all these white people.
Last year, he was named the greatest rapper of all time by Billboard, but his empire transcends the music world. He also founded Rock Nation, an entertainment company. Took a stab at fashion with Rockaware and ventured into hospitality with the 40/40 Club. Jay-Z, once rising to megastardom with Sean Diddy Combs, now facing disturbing allegations also together.
When Tony Busby came out with the hundreds of potential civil lawsuits, he told us that there would be some names that could shock us. Now we know who Celebrity A is, Jay-Z, aka Sean Carter. But the question still remains, who was that female Celebrity B named in that lawsuit, and what other major names?
Outside the courtroom, discussions were heated. Supporters of Jay-Z highlighted his contributions to music, culture, and society, pointing to his philanthropic efforts as evidence of his character. Critics, however, argued that influence and privilege had long shielded him from accountability.
Jay-Z is denying allegations he sexually assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay-Z. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was sexually assaulted by both men at a Video Music Awards after-party in 2000. In a blistering statement, Jay-Z accuses Jane Doe's attorney of trying to blackmail him. He said further, quote, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree?" He added, "My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people." Joining us now, Joey Jackson, CNN legal analyst and criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor. There's a lot to unpack here. Joey, I want to start with just the statement from Jay-Z, which is so forceful in its denial. I just read a teeny part of it, it's long, where he says that they should file a criminal complaint. Is that even possible at this point?
So based on the allegations, Jessica, good morning, good to see you. I think that it certainly could be. Why do I say that? Now, he, of course, is more than annoyed, would be an understatement. Yeah. He has a family and he has a lot to protect, including his brand. But to the extent that he's saying, hey, come after me criminally, that could be likely. Why do I say that? Because rape in New York, and what's alleged in this complaint, is forcible compulsion. What that means in English is that it's saying that he held her down, raped her, and that, of course, the allegation is that Mr. Combs did the same thing. And so if those facts are actually accurate, it would require an investigation by prosecutors, and if true, right, you could pursue it criminally. Now, with respect to evidentiary value, yes, it happened 24 years ago, right, more than 24 years ago, but in the allegations, there's a few things. Number one, there's allegation that another celebrity was present at the time, right, in addition to other people. Number two, there's the claim by the victim, right, that she left, that she went and she was seen by a gas attendant who saw her in distress. Number three, that she phone called her dad, who showed up, the 13-year-old, and now removed her. So civil complaint, simply allegations, needs to be proven in a court of law, but if true, it could rise to the level of criminality, and, you know, we'll see what happens, or if the DA looks and investigates.
So what happens now?
So what happens now is...
The debate spilled onto social media, polarizing opinions. Hashtags trended as users defended or questioned Jay-Z's actions, turning the discourse into a mix of memes, analysis, and impassioned arguments.
This is simply a civil complaint, and in a civil complaint, it goes through the technical legal process. Now, the distinction, Jessica, between civil and criminal, of course, is that civil is for monetary damages, right? The system can only reward you with money. There's allegations that this 13-year-old is suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, suffered depression, etc. So now you go to fact-finding, right? Before that, just briefly, there was a demand letter sent, and a demand letter is a letter being sent by a lawyer saying, hey, I don't have to sue you. We can sit, we can mediate it. If we reach an agreement, it never sees the light of day. Jay-Z saying, I don't care about your demand letter. I look at it as blackmail. You want to sue me, sue me. You want to look at it criminally, look at it criminally, but it'll go through the fact-finding process. If a trial is necessary to determine the facts, that's what will happen, but it'll be deemed civil. No indication at this point as to whether or not any criminal investigation will ensue as a result of this.
Yeah, and Jay-Z came back incredibly forcefully against these allegations and really singled out that attorney as well for being, I'm paraphrasing here, but greedy, saying he's out to get money, and calling that letter essentially blackmail.
Yeah, and in addition to that, Jessica, also suing the attorney, saying he's intimidating him, harassing him, etc. Now, demand letters are not new. What lawyers do is they send them out as a matter of protocol and practice so that you can expedite the process. At the same time, there's certain ethical standards that you have to use, and you have to have a good faith factual belief that this is true. Now, you can argue this complaint was filed in October, right? Could have mentioned Jay-Z then. You didn't. Why? It was amended now to include him. Are the factual assertions true? Are they fact or fiction? Is it a money grab or not? All of that will be litigated in a court of law, but according to Jay-Z, this never happened, is pure fiction. It is a money grab, and he's fighting for his name, reputation, and certainly innocence and justice in his view, which is he didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, and you touched on point two that I wanted to ask you about, which was that this was an amendment to this already existing lawsuit. What are people to take away from that? The fact that they're coming back and adding to this now with this specific name?
Yeah, you know, Jessica, so it depends. That's also common. You could amend lawsuits, right, as a matter of course, and you do, to include certain factual allegations. The interesting thing to me in terms of your question and the takeaway, if you had this information about Jay-Z, it happened allegedly in September of 2000, why not include it in the original complaint? What happened between October and now that necessitated you putting in, and it's a question of credibility. Was he celebrity A, right, as was noted in the October complaint? Is this pure fiction? And what's interesting in the complaint is he really, that is the lawyer, tries to tie Jay-Z to Mr. Combs in so many ways, right? Birds of a feather is the argument that he's making. You can make that argument. You need the facts to sustain it. Let's see if they come up with any facts.
All right, we will see. All right, Joey Jackson, thanks.
As the day concluded, Jay-Z exited the courtroom with his legal team. His expression was serious, a stark contrast to his usual confidence. For someone who had achieved unparalleled success across multiple industries, this legal battle represented a unique and profound challenge.
To switch gears and talk about this breaking news just happening tonight that involves both Jay-Z and Diddy. Now, this is an amended complaint accusing Jay-Z of raping a 13-year-old girl in 2000 along with Sean Diddy Combs. This is a new civil filing, and we see the anonymous accuser here alleging the assault occurred after she was driven to an MTV Music Video Awards after party. This lawsuit was originally filed in October, just today refiled to include Jay-Z. I mean, let's start with the basics here. What are you learning about this? What is standing out to you?
Well, what is standing out to me is she was very specific about several things. She describes the house, she describes the driveway, she describes the exact assault, what happened. She talks about various stages of things that occurred. And I think that this is good because this way it can either be corroborated or not corroborated. So she's painted herself in a corner.
Why add Jay-Z now if this originally was filed back in October? Why not do it then?
Very interesting question. I think, we're seeing the same attorney for many of these complainants. And I think we're going to see more and more people added. I think there's a lot that they were looking to prove, and maybe they didn't quite have what they thought they needed to file against Jay-Z initially.
We always appreciate the insight and time. Jennifer Coffendoffer, thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
Diddy Combs, our US correspondent Martha Kellner has the latest from Los Angeles.
This civil suit was originally filed back in October against Sean Combs, better known as P. Diddy. It has now been amended to also include allegations against Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter. In this civil suit, a woman says that when she was a 13-year-old girl back in the year 2000, that she attended an after party for the MTV Video Music Awards, during which she says she was raped by Jay-Z and P. Diddy. She says that Jay-Z removed her clothes, pinned her down and raped her while P. Diddy and an unnamed female celebrity watched on. She says she was then raped by P. Diddy as Jay-Z and this female celebrity watched on once again. Jay-Z has dismissed in a lengthy statement these claims as idiotic. He's also attacked the character and legitimacy of the lawyer who has brought these claims. In his statement, Jay-Z directly addresses that lawyer. He says, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. My heart and support goes out to true victims in the world who have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit." The wife, which he refers to, is of course Beyonce, whom he's been married to since 2008 and been in a relationship for much longer than that. As for P. Diddy, he's currently in prison in New York awaiting criminal charges for sex trafficking and racketeering. He faces more than 24